the word out on the street. There is talk about a new beginning. People want to march to a different beat, all united by a common feeling. There is hope in the air, there's a will to declare that it's time for change.
I am Samantha Sacramento. I am a lawyer of 11 years standing, and I have been practicing in Gibraltar for 8 years. I have decided to come into politics because of my interest in social welfare, which I am concerned is presently lacking. We have heard many reports from the public lately that are very alarming. These seem to have been completely disregarded by the GSD administration, and I am determined to ensure that these things are put right. It angers me that social services is supposed to be there to help those in our community who need it most, and yet they are let down time and time again. This is because the system does not work, and it is time for the system to change. We need to change the balance of how spending is prioritized, and instead of wasting money on unnecessary luxuries, we need to ensure that the needs of the Gibraltarian citizen are met, and especially we will ensure that the most vulnerable are not left without support, protection and a voice. This government has forgotten to make people a priority. For them, it is all about luxury schemes and developments at the expense of people. The air terminal has cost 75 million euros. The relocation cost of certain facilities at the airport will cost a further 11 million euros. All this for a structure that had to be built next to the frontier for joint use with Spain because of the Cordoba Agreement, but which we all know has been a complete overspend because the cost is disproportionate to the benefit that we will get from it. Also, let's not forget the price of fiascos like the OEM and Haymills developments, which ended up owing Gibraltar millions, for example in unpaid taxes, and for which the Gibraltarian has had to foot the bill. Examples of misspending are endless. All this money is wasted, and the government does not bat an eyelid when a 14-year-old girl had to spend 2 nights in prison because social services were not provided with the resources to take her in. People are tired with the disgraceful state of affairs of this government and can see through their empty propaganda that Gibraltar has never been better. The GSD government has failed to be accountable for its shortcomings and would rather cover up a serious incident than acknowledge a failure. There can be no more pretending that bad things do not happen in Gibraltar. The GSLP Liberals have already outlined our plans for accountability of ministers, and if voted into government, we will adopt a ministerial code. Let us turn for a moment to the support for the elderly. Mount Alvernia is filled to capacity, and the waiting list is years long. There are many elderly patients in hospital wards at St. Bernard's waiting to be admitted to Mount Alvernia. This has a knock-on effect on medical admissions to hospital due to lack of beds and frequently results in cancellation of operations. All this is because of lack of planning. We will provide greater support for the elderly by way of an increase in domiciliary care, so that the elderly are able to remain at home with support, yet do not lose their independence. The lack of proper investment in social services results in imposing constraints on those who work in the system. The staff are overstretched and unable to fulfill their duties. The end result is that the service user does not get a proper service or the service that they deserve. We have very clear views about how we think that social services should be improved, and that will be achieved by a greater investment in the system. It is also important to invest in staff. We cannot underestimate the importance of the job done by the care workers who work within social services. They need proper resources and training so that they are not limited in how they can carry out their job. A GSLP Liberal government will make changes so that staff can work better. But unlike the previous government, we will make the changes in full consultation with the workers and their representative unions and not simply present them with a fait accompli. The bottom line is that there is a lot of misspending of money in Gibraltar, and there needs to be a redistribution of wealth for the benefit of the Gibraltarians. For the GSD government, it is more important to spend money on buildings than on people. The GSLP Liberals will restore the balance of social justice. You will see our fresh ideas in our manifesto. Vote for a GSLP Liberal government on the 8th of December to ensure a change.
Have you heard the word out on the street? There is talk about a new beginning. People want to march to a different beat, all united by a common feeling. There is hope in the air, there's a will to declare that it's time for change.
There is a whole new generation waiting to play its part. All it needs is a little motivation. All it needs is a fresh new start.
There is hope in the air, there's a will to declare that it's time for change, time for change. Time for some new blood, someone that can truly understand. Time for change, time for change. It's time to rearrange, to help all those who need a helping hand.
The future is in our hands. Take a good look around. Someone that hears our demands. This time we can make it count.
There is hope in the air, there's a will to declare that it's time for change, time for change. It's time for some new blood, for someone that can truly understand. Time for change, time for change. It's time to rearrange, to help all those who need a helping hand. It's time for change, time for change. It's time for some new blood, for someone that can truly understand. Time for change, time for change. It's time to rearrange, to help all those who need a helping hand. Time for change, time for change. It's time for some new blood.